and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. What would happen if you discovered today that everything you need to succeed is already inside you? What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and the life you were born to live is not the government, not the economy, not your family, but the way you think? You see, the greatest gift given to humanity is not just life, but the ability to think, to imagine, to create, to innovate, to build something out of nothing. The problem is, most people have been trained to think like employees in a world that rewards entrepreneurs. Most people have been conditioned to wait for opportunities instead of creating them. The entrepreneurial mindset is not about starting a business. It is about starting your life on your terms. It's about understanding that inside of you is a treasure chest of ideas, solutions, gifts, and talents waiting to be unlocked. The world is not changed by people who sit and watch. It is changed by those who see what others don't see and have the courage to act. But let me warn you, this mindset is not for the faint-hearted. It requires a radical shift from dependency to destiny. It demands that you stop asking for permission to live and start taking responsibility for the future you desire. The entrepreneur mindset says, I will no longer wait for someone to give me a job. I will create work. I will no longer wait for someone to open a door. I will build doors and give keys to others. Now, what makes this mindset powerful is that it thrives on problems. While most people run from problems, true entrepreneurs run toward them because they understand that problems are the birthplace of opportunities. Every great invention, every revolutionary idea, every breakthrough was born out of a problem that someone dared to solve. So if you see problems all around you, congratulations, you are standing in a field of hidden treasures. And let me say this, entrepreneurs don't just think about money, they think about impact. Because when your mind is focused on adding value, on solving real issues, on serving humanity, wealth will chase you. Money is a byproduct of the problems you solve and the lives you touch. But here's the secret. You cannot solve problems you are afraid to face. You cannot rise above challenges you refuse to confront. So the first and greatest enemy of the entrepreneurial mindset is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of starting small. But remember, every tree was once a seed. Every empire began as an idea. The mindset of an entrepreneur sees scarcity and produces abundance. It sees chaos and creates order. It sees darkness and becomes light. But above all, it refuses to settle for mediocrity. You are not here to merely exist. You are here to create. You are not here to take up space. You are here to fill the earth with solutions that only you can give. Let me challenge you today. Refuse to be a victim of your environment. Refuse to be trapped by excuses. Refuse to live by default when you are born to live by design. The world is waiting, yes, waiting for you to wake up to the greatness inside of you. Stop hiding behind fear. Stop postponing your purpose. The entrepreneur mindset says, if there is no way, I will make a way. If there is no path, I will create one. If no one believes in me, I will believe in myself. Until the world has no choice but to see what I see. Today is the day to unlock your mind. Today is the day to stop waiting for opportunities and become the opportunity. Because when you think like an entrepreneur, you realize that you were never made to follow the crowd. You were made to lead, to build, to change, and to leave something behind that says, I was here and I made a difference. The entrepreneurial mindset is about ownership. It's not just about starting a business. It's about taking full responsibility for your life, creating opportunities and shaping your own future rather than waiting for others to do it for you. Your greatest asset is your mind. Everything you need to succeed is already within you. Your ideas, talents, and creativity. The key is learning to unlock and apply them through vision and bold thinking. Problems are opportunities in disguise. Entrepreneurs see problems as doors to solutions, innovations, and success. What others fear, entrepreneurs embrace, knowing that every problem is a chance to create value. Impact over income. True entrepreneurs focus on solving real problems and adding value to others' lives. Wealth follows value. When you serve others effectively, success and financial reward are natural outcomes. Fear is the enemy of growth. The mindset requires overcoming fear of failure, rejection, and starting small. Great things begin with small, bold steps that grow over time. Refuse to settle for mediocrity. You were born to create, lead, and leave a legacy. The entrepreneur mindset pushes you beyond comfort zones, empowering you to build, innovate, and make a lasting impact. The entrepreneurial mindset is about ownership. Ownership of your thoughts, your actions, your vision, and ultimately your destiny. It is the realization that no one is coming to hand you success, and no one owes you a better life. The moment you understand this truth is the moment you step into real power. Too many people spend their lives waiting for permission, waiting for the right conditions, waiting for someone to choose them. But an entrepreneur does not wait. An entrepreneur decides. Ownership means refusing to blame external circumstances for your position in life. It means rejecting the idea that your success is dependent on the economy, the government, your employer, or your upbringing. The entrepreneur mindset acknowledges reality but refuses to be limited by it. Where others see roadblocks, entrepreneurs see detours and new pathways. Where others see impossibility, they see opportunity. The biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the way they think about control. Employees think in terms of dependency. I need someone to hire me. I need someone to pay me. I need someone to give me a chance. Entrepreneurs think in terms of creation. I will build something. I will create value. I will make my own way. This shift in thinking is what separates those who lead from those who follow. Now, taking ownership is not always easy. It requires discipline, responsibility, and the willingness to embrace failure as part of the journey. Many people avoid responsibility because it feels heavy. But what they don't realize is that the weight of regret is far heavier. Ownership means accepting that if something is not working in your life, it is your job to change it. It means understanding that success is not given, it is earned. When you develop this mindset, excuses lose their power. You stop saying, I can't do this because of my background, or I don't have the resources. Instead, you ask, how can I make this happen? Every great entrepreneur in history has had reasons to quit, reasons to give up, but they didn't, because they understood that success is not about luck, it is about ownership. So the question is, are you owning your life, or are you letting life own you? The answer to that question will determine whether you create your future or become a victim of it. The choice is yours. Your greatest asset is not money, connections, or even education. It is your mind. The way you think determines everything about your life. Every invention, every business, every breakthrough in history began as an idea in someone's mind. The problem is that most people underestimate the power of their own thinking. They spend their lives following routines, reacting to circumstances, and allowing others to dictate their direction. But those who embrace an entrepreneurial mindset understand that the mind is a limitless resource capable of shaping reality. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stagnant is not their environment, but their perception of it. Two people can face the same situation. One sees an obstacle, the other sees an opportunity. The only difference is how they think. Entrepreneurs train their minds to see beyond limitations. They ask questions others ignore. They challenge norms instead of accepting them. They understand that their thoughts create their reality, so they guard what enters their mind and choose to feed it with ideas that push them forward. But unlocking the power of the mind requires intentional effort. Just like a muscle, the mind must be exercised, stretched, and challenged to grow. This means constantly learning, exposing yourself to new ideas, and refusing to settle for surface level thinking. It means questioning assumptions, exploring possibilities, and daring to believe in ideas that others dismiss. The greatest innovations came from minds that refused to accept this is the way things have always been. Yet many people allow their greatest asset to be controlled by fear, doubt, and negativity. They focus on what they lack instead of what they can create. They replay past failures instead of visualizing future victories. But the truth is, whatever dominates your mind will manifest in your life. If you constantly think about problems, you will see more problems. If you train your mind to seek solutions, you will find them everywhere. Entrepreneurs are not just dreamers, they are thinkers who turn dreams into reality. They understand that the key to transformation is in the mind first. Before they build businesses, they build ideas. Before they change industries, they change their perspectives. Before they impact the world, they impact their thinking. So the question is, what are you doing with your most powerful asset? Are you using your mind to build your future, or are you letting it be shaped by fear, doubt, and mediocrity? The way you answer that question will determine your destiny. Most people run from problems. They see obstacles as reasons to quit, as signs that they should give up. But those with an entrepreneurial mindset see problems differently. They understand a powerful truth. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise. Every great breakthrough in history, every invention, every business, every revolutionary idea was born out of a problem that someone dared to solve. Think about it. Why was a light bulb invented? Because darkness was a problem. Why was the airplane created? Because people needed a faster way to travel. Why do businesses exist? Because they solve specific problems for people. The world doesn't reward those who complain about problems. It rewards those who solve them. Entrepreneurs know this, and that's why they look at challenges as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Most people see problems as roadblocks, but entrepreneurs see them as doors to new possibilities. They ask different questions. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? They ask, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this into an advantage? This shift in thinking is what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. The bigger the problem, the greater the opportunity. Think about the wealthiest and most successful people in the world. They didn't just wake up rich. They built solutions that added value to the lives of others. If you want to create impact, if you want to build something meaningful, start by finding a problem that needs solving. Stop running from challenges and start embracing them. But here's the truth. Solving problems requires a certain level of resilience. It demands creativity, persistence, and courage. Most people give up too easily. The moment they hit a wall, they stop. But entrepreneurs keep pushing. They don't see failure as the end. They see it as part of the learning process. They understand that obstacles are not there to stop them. They are there to reveal how badly they want success. If you want to succeed, train yourself to think like a problem solver. Instead of seeing difficulties as burdens, see them as invitations to grow, to innovate, to rise above the ordinary. The world is full of problems, which means the world is full of opportunities waiting to be discovered. The question is, will you be the one to find them? Will you be the person who creates solutions while others complain? The choice is yours. Most people chase money, but true entrepreneurs chase impact, and in doing so, wealth follows them. The difference between an ordinary mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset is the focus on value creation. Money is simply a byproduct of the problems you solve and the lives you improve. If you focus only on making money, you may succeed temporarily, but if you focus on making a difference, wealth will chase you for a lifetime. Think about the most successful companies and individuals in the world. They didn't just set out to get rich. They set out to serve a need, solve a problem, or improve lives, whether it's technology, healthcare, entertainment, or education. The most influential businesses exist because someone asked, how can I make life better for others? Entrepreneurs think beyond themselves. They understand that the more people they help, the more success they attract. Unfortunately, many people get this equation backward. They want success without impact. They chase quick money schemes, short-term gains, and self-centered pursuits. But this approach is limited. If money is your only goal, you'll always be running after it. But when you focus on creating something valuable, something that solves real problems for people, money naturally flows in your direction. Entrepreneurs do not wake up thinking, how can I get rich today? Instead, they ask, what can I improve? What is missing? How can I make things easier, faster, or better for others? The moment you start thinking like this, you position yourself for long-term success. Now, let's make this personal. If you want to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, you must stop asking, how can I make money? And start asking, how can I add value? What problems do people have that you can solve? What skills, knowledge, or experiences do you have that can benefit others? Every great entrepreneur starts by serving, because service is the foundation of wealth. But here's the secret. The more impact you create, the greater your rewards. The reason why some people struggle financially is that they haven't yet learned the power of impact. If you want to increase your income, increase your value. If you want to grow financially, grow in your ability to solve bigger problems. Success is not about luck, it is about service, innovation, and problem solving. The most powerful question you can ask yourself today is, how can I serve at a higher level? Because the moment you start focusing on impact, everything else, money, recognition, influence, will follow naturally. The world rewards those who make a difference. Be one of them. Fear is the greatest enemy of progress. It has kept millions of people from pursuing their dreams, stepping into their potential, and creating the life they truly desire. The entrepreneurial mindset demands that you confront fear head on, because fear is nothing but a mental barrier, a prison created by uncertainty and doubt. The truth is, everything you want lies on the other side of fear, but only those willing to push through it will ever experience real success. Most people let fear dictate their lives. They are afraid of failure, so they never take risks. They're afraid of rejection, so they never put their ideas out into the world. They're afraid of starting small, so they never start at all. But the reality is this: failure is part of the process. Rejection is a sign of progress, and every great success started as something small. If you let fear control you, you will spend your life watching others succeed while you remain stuck in hesitation. Entrepreneurs understand that fear is natural, but they refuse to let it control them. They know that fear signals growth. It means they are stepping into something bigger than themselves. Instead of running from it, they use it as fuel. When others say, what if I fail? They say, what if I succeed? When others say, I'm not ready, they say, I will never be ready, so might as well start now. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people never reach their potential. But here's the secret. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the pathway to it. Every successful entrepreneur has failed multiple times. The difference is that they don't let failure define them. They let it teach them. They learn they adapt, and they keep moving forward. Failure is only permanent if you quit. Then there's the fear of rejection, the fear of people not believing in you, not supporting you, or laughing at your dreams. But the harsh truth is, not everyone will believe in you, and that's okay. Your vision is not meant for everyone to understand. Many of the world's greatest entrepreneurs were doubted, criticized, and even ridiculed before they succeeded. But they kept going because they believed in their vision more than they feared rejection. If you want to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, you must train yourself to act despite fear. Fear will never disappear completely, but courage is not the absence of fear. It is a decision to move forward anyway. So what are you afraid of? And more importantly, will you let it stop you, or will you push past it and step into the life you were meant to live? The choice is yours. Mediocrity is the silent killer of dreams. It is the comfortable trap that keeps people settling for less than they are capable of. The entrepreneurial mindset refuses to accept average because it understands one fundamental truth. You were not created to be ordinary. You were designed to lead, to innovate, to create, and to make a lasting impact. But the only way to do that is to reject the mindset of comfort and embrace the pursuit of greatness. Most people live their lives playing it safe, doing just enough to survive, but never enough to thrive. They follow the same routine, think the same thoughts, and accept the same limitations year after year. They make excuses, blaming their background, their circumstances, or the people around them. But entrepreneurs think differently. They know that greatness is a choice, not an accident. It is not given. It is earned. The difference between those who change the world and those who simply exist is mindset. Entrepreneurs do not think in terms of what is normal or expected. They think in terms of what is possible. They push themselves beyond their limits, knowing that growth only happens outside of comfort zones. While the average person waits for opportunities, entrepreneurs create them. While others fear failure, they embrace it as part of the process. While most people are satisfied with good enough, they strive for excellence. But here's the hard truth. Rejecting mediocrity is not easy. It requires discipline, perseverance, and the willingness to stand alone at times. It means sacrificing temporary comfort for long-term success. It means waking up earlier, working harder, thinking bigger, and refusing to settle when you know there is more inside you. It means being obsessed with growth, constantly learning, improving, and challenging yourself to reach new levels. Look at history. Every person who left a legacy, every business that changed the world, every invention that shaped society, none of them came from people who accepted mediocrity. They came from those who dared to dream bigger, who refused to live by other people's expectations, who pushed beyond the limits society tried to place on them. So the question is, are you settling? Are you living beneath your potential, doing just enough to get by, or are you pushing yourself towards something greater? The choice is simple. Either you live by design or you live by default. Either you take control of your destiny or you let life decide for you. But remember this, no one remembers the ones who played it safe. The world is changed by those who refuse to settle. Which one will you be? The entrepreneurial mindset is more than just a way of thinking. It is a way of living. It is the mindset of ownership, where you stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. It is the belief that your mind is your greatest asset, capable of shaping your future if you train it to see possibilities instead of limitations. It is the understanding that problems are not obstacles but opportunities, challenges that exist to be solved by those who dare to think differently. True entrepreneurs do not chase money, they chase impact, knowing that wealth follows those who solve real problems and add value to the world. They refused to be controlled by fear, recognizing that every great success was once a risky idea that someone had the courage to pursue. And above all, they reject mediocrity, refusing to settle for a life of comfort when they were born to create, innovate, and lead. Now, the question is not whether opportunities exist. The question is whether you will seize them. Will you take control of your life and design your future? Will you push past fear, refuse excuses, and step into your full potential? Or will you remain stuck, waiting for permission to live at the level you were meant for? The choice is yours. But remember this, the world does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who act. Your time is now. Step forward, think bigger, and unleash the entrepreneur within you. The future belongs to those who dare to create.